Alexander is in a relationship with Laura, and although she loves him sincerely and tries to create comfort and stability in their life, he begins to be overcome by doubts. Laura is a woman who wants a stable and long-term relationship. She believes in love and fidelity. Alexander, though attached to her, begins to feel that he is stifled by the expectations of society, predictability, and routine. His inner conflict grows with each day. He fears losing his freedom and being trapped in long-term commitments. Two opposing feelings of love for Laura and desire for independence are constantly struggling in him. The situation changes when Alexander meets Fanfan. She is the complete opposite of Laura. Fanfan is independent, energetic, playful. She attracts Alexander with her mystery and sense of lightness. She lives in the moment, not thinking about the future, which, of course, bribes Alexander, who strives for freedom. They begin to spend a lot of time together, which gradually transforms into romantic feelings on his part. However, Fanfan does not seem to rush to the same conclusions, remaining mysterious and unpredictable. One of the first significant scenes is their meeting in a bookstore. Alexander meets Fanfan by chance among the bookshelves, and there is an instant spark between them. Their conversation in the store seems light and casual. They flirt with each other, exchange opinions about books, and Alexander begins to feel that his life has finally received a new breath. He sees in Fanfan the freedom he has longed for, and although he is tormented by doubts about Laura, he cannot resist Fanfan's charm. The next important scene is when Alexander decides to propose to Laura. But even at this significant moment, he is tormented by doubts. He buys a ring and prepares for the important step, but a storm of emotions rages inside him. When he arrives home to propose to Laura, their conversation is not what he had planned. Laura is visibly excited. She has been waiting for this moment for a long time, but Alexander suddenly feels insecure. He starts talking about freedom, about responsibility, about being afraid of losing himself. Laura can't understand why he hesitates, because she offers him what she thinks he has always wanted: love and stability. However, Alexander backs out at the last moment, and the scene ends with Laura left confused and Alexander walking away. Amidst this growing tension with Laura, his relationship with Fanfan begins to develop. They spend more and more time together, and Alexander begins to have strong feelings for her. He sees in her the embodiment of his dream of freedom. Her carefree and unpredictable nature fascinates him. However, despite the fact that they both grow closer, Fanfan maintains a certain distance. They go for a walk in Paris, they laugh and enjoy the moment. However, when Alexander tries to talk about her feelings, she changes the subject. Her behavior makes Alexander wonder what she really feels. Gradually, tension builds between them. Alexander becomes jealous of her with other men, although he himself is still in a relationship with Laura. This leads to even more internal conflict when he realizes that he cannot choose between Laura, who offers him stability, and Fanfan, who symbolizes freedom for him. He and Fanfan end up in her apartment, and a conversation arises between them about how they are both afraid of commitment. Fanfan confesses that she too is unsure of what she wants and that she is afraid of losing her independence. This revelation brings them even closer together, but doesn't solve their problems. Then comes the moment when Alexander decides to leave Laura after all. He confesses to her that he is in love with someone else and that he can no longer pretend. Laura of course feels betrayed. Her world is falling apart. She tries to understand how this happened and why their love was not enough. Alexander, although he realizes that he hurt her, is relieved that he finally made a choice. However, even after the breakup, his state of mind does not get any easier. He realizes that his relationship with Fanfan is not bringing him the happiness he expected. One of the key scenes occurs when Alexander decides to talk to Fanfan about their future. They meet at a cafe and he tries to find out what she thinks about their relationship. However, Fanfan again walks away from the conversation without giving him a clear answer. She acts playful, hinting that their relationship may continue, but does not commit herself to anything. Alexander begins to realize that despite all his feelings for her, she is not ready for a serious relationship. This conversation leaves him in a state of confusion and doubt. The final part of the story unfolds as Alexander gradually realizes that his search for freedom and novelty has led him to a dead end. He begins to realize that by trying to avoid commitment and responsibility, he has missed something important in his life. In one of the final scenes, he goes to Laura's house to talk to her. They have a long talk, and Laura confesses that she still loves him but cannot forgive him.
She lets him go, realizing that the two of them can no longer be together. Alexander is left alone.
He meets Fanfan for the last time, and their conversation reveals that their relationship was more of an illusion than true love. Fanfan, although she had sympathy for him, never saw them together in the long term. She walks away, leaving Alexander to ponder what freedom and love really mean. The movie shows the complex relationships between people, their fears of commitment and their struggle with their own desires.